Let's talk about perennials that are going to be bang for your buck. So if you're either on a budget and you're looking for a few amount of plants, or you got a large area that you're trying to fill up with plants, but you don't have the budget to just buy a ton of plants, you want plants that get big, that are great for the area, that are low maintenance. Let me show you around and I'll show you some that are really top sellers, but also just top picks for bang for your bucks in the way that they grow. They're low maintenance and also they get some decent size. So let's talk about them. So right now, these don't look like much because we just planted them recently. We plant them in quart size for our shipping customers. We do ship plants nationwide and we plant them in gallons for our locals. But the first one, pink profusion salvia. Now this isn't one that gets massive, but in terms of how dense it is with blooms and how long it blooms, it's one of the longer blooming perennials that I know of. And it got Perennial of the Year award, but the blooms are just, as it looks like on the picture, massive. So you really can dot one of these plants in an area, especially if you got it in a gallon. It just puts on a show. You can cut the blooms back once they're done for. It'll rebloom 2 to 3 times in a year. And honestly, it's just an amazing perennial because perennials usually bloom once, maybe twice a year, not for very long, usually not more than 6 weeks. So this one right here, pink profusion salvia, is a winner. Another winner that is an absolute champ in the garden, Serendipity Allium. You see that one plant right there? Obviously you can add more, 3, 4, but it has a beautiful grassy texture. That's a thicker grass texture. It's in the onion family, and honestly, anything that smells and stinks, deer don't like it. So it's deer resistant, rabbit resistant, all those things. So it does so well in a garden. It doesn't need much food. It creates these beautiful lollipop-like purple blooms that honestly, I don't know a gardener that wouldn't love that color in their garden. I'm a fan of pinks, purples, the kind of more muted tones, and this fits that bill perfectly. But Serendipity Allium, these again, we just planted and they're just starting to pop up right here, but it just makes this strappy foliage beautiful. It can be singularly planted and you won't miss it. You won't feel like it just needs a ton of friends in order to make sense, if you will. There's some plants for me that look dinky just by themselves. This one is just a nice accent, or if you plant it in drifts, absolutely beautiful. Great bang for your buck. I love this one. This one right here, it just looks like a pot of dirt and just some dead stuff right now, but in no time, it's going to flush up some growth. It's getting ready to throw out some leaves because we planted these as bare root, and that's what it looks like. But this one is Stormcloud Amsonia, and one plant looks just like that picture. 24 to 30 inches that it gets, usually tall and wide, I would say, even larger than that. But oh my gosh, one of the first ones to bloom in early spring. It looks beautiful, but even the leaves have a nice dark color. So when it's not in bloom, it's absolutely beautiful. Plus, it's a native. So you can just stick it in the ground, forget about it. It'll come back every year reliably, but they get big and nice sized. And these are just amazing plants. So I definitely recommend, if you can find Stormcloud Amsonia, it is a winner. Love it. I mean, these just speak for themselves. These are evergreen. This is the phenomenal lavender, and it is named very accurately. Here in the south, we have a lot of humidity, and there's not many lavenders that survive our winters for us, mainly, honestly, because the humidity. And they don't love it. They get rotted, and our soil is clay soil, so they don't perform very well because they don't like wet feet. This one can tolerate our straight up clay. We have tested it. We have planted ours in the clay. It survives beautifully. And right here in the nursery, you can just see it just looks happy. It's always this color. But this one gets 3 to 4 feet wide and tall. And it just throws out some, I mean, look at this lady. She's happy because that plant is huge. Once this plant throws out some blooms like that, you can cut them. You can use it for whatever lavender you want. And until your, heart's content. This is an incredible plant. We have more of these. I think we might carry even more because it's just an unbelievable plant. Phenomenal lavender. If you can find it, get it. I'm sorry I'm yelling at you. It's just really exciting. There's so many more, but last but not least, I'm going to talk about this one right here. It is Drops of Jupiter. This is ornamental oregano, and the leaves are a nice, beautiful chartreuse green. Just alone in the garden, when you stick that and you just walk away and you just look at that green, just kind of beckoning you from a distance, it just makes you want to cry a little bit, but don't. It does bloom purple blooms. They're beautiful. I don't really care if it blooms or not because the chartreuse green, much like lemon coral sedum, just has a presence in the landscape. You can also get away with planting this one in slight shade, part shade. It may not bloom for you as much, but it'll stay very chartreuse green. They do get a decent size, like 2 feet. So it is definitely one that you want to grow. Right now in the winter, it's a little more bronzy looking, but as these get going, they will fill out the pot and they will look completely chartreuse green. And they also have a scent to them, which I think is very pleasant. But deer don't like this plant, so it's a great plant to get. So if you have any plants that you love that you think are bang for your bucks, let me know in the comments below. I obviously have so many more to talk about. I can make a 2-hour-long video talking about every single plant and why we like them, because we select all of these because we like them and we grow them. And honestly, as a nursery, you want to grow plants that are easy to grow in mass amounts, and that's why we like all these. But anyway, I could tell you all about them. So anyway, leave it in the comments if there's some that you really love, or if there's some that you have questions and you want highlighted and you want us to talk about. We'll definitely do that, so just leave it in the comments. And we'll see you guys on the next video. And I think YouTube is going to show you a video here that you're going to like. Make sure to watch it. See you in the next one. Bye.